today we are on our guided notes, lesson number 3. Our ball work is that Grace and Jim were shooting free throws. Grace made 4 out of 15 of her free throws. Jim missed 6 out of 16 free throws. Who made the free throws? Who made more free throws? What fraction? A greater fraction of the time. So if we look at Grace, what is her fraction of the ones that she made? 4 out of 15. If we look at Jim, what would be the fractions of the one he made?
6 out of 6.
If it says he missed 6, how many did he make?
10.
10 out of 16. So we are comparing these two fractions. And how would you like to compare the fractions?
Decimal.
Okay, we can change them to decimals. So when we divide, it's top divided by bottom. Which number goes in the house? The top dog gets the dog house, so we have 4 on the inside. Bring up my decimal, and what goes on the outside?
Why do you put 4.00?
Because I know I'm going to get a decimal answer, so I added my zeros. Now, if we look at this, can 15 go into 4?
No.
No. Can 15 go into 40?
Yep.
How many times?
Twice.
What's 2 times 15?
30.
When we subtract, we get 10 and we bring down a 0. How many times can 15 go into 100? 6. And what's 6 times 15?
100. Wait, is that? Yeah, 100.
15 times 6. What's 5 times 6?
30.
30.
Oh, 90.
Yeah, we get 90. So we have 90. We subtract and we get 10. What do you notice? It's going to repeat. Our 6 is a number that repeats, so we have 0.2. 6 is repeating, so that's where our line goes for our bar notation. We have to find our fraction. For Jim, he made 10 out of 16. When we divide, what number goes in the house? 10. I'm going to add a decimal, a couple zeros. Break my decimal up, and what number goes on the outside? 16. 16. Can 16 go into 10?
No.
No. Can 16 go into 100?
Yeah. Wait.
How many times? Let's try 16 times 6. 6 times 6 is 36. 6 times 1 is 6 plus 3 gives us 9. So it can go in 9 times, and we're left with 96. When you subtract, 100 minus 96 gives us what?
4.
4. Bring down a 0.
2.
And what's 2 times 16?
32.
32. We subtract and we get 8. What do you notice about our fraction, or our decimals? It's not repeating, but if we compare the two, yeah, 10 16 is way bigger, so our answer is Jim. He made a greater percent of his free throws. Okay, so today's lesson is adding and subtracting like fractions. Our targets for today. Students will be able to add like fractions and subtract like fractions. Okay, so looking at our notes, to add or subtract like fractions, you add or subtract the numerators, and what do we do to our denominators?
You do the same thing. Big dog.
You keep the same denominator.
4 times 2 is 64. Probably not. 4 times 2 is 60.
Okay, fractions that have the same denominator are called like fractions. So today we are working on adding and subtracting like fractions, which means they're going to have the same denominator.
Wow, it's so easy now.
Whenever working with fractions, it's important that your final answer is in simplest form.
Denominator are like called fractions. I don't know what they call it.
And to subtract an integer, whenever we're subtracting, when we have KCO, we add, what does our O stand for?
Opposite.
We add the opposite, or add its opposite. So, for our first example, we are adding the two fractions, 5 ninths and 2 ninths.
7 ninths.
So, for our rules for adding fractions, we have a common denominator, so we don't have to do that. We have like fractions. We're going to add or subtract our numerators. In this example, we have 5 plus 2, which is 5 plus 2, 7. And we keep the same denominator. What denominator are we keeping? 9. So we have 7 ninths. Can this be simplified?
No.
No, so that's our answer in simplest form. Our next example, -3/5 plus -1/5. We are adding, do we have same signs or different signs? Same sign, so we're going to do what, JP? Add and keep. So we're going to add 3 plus 1, which is 4, and we keep our negative. And what do we write for our denominator? 5. We keep the same denominator. Can -4/5 be simplified? Nope. So that's in simplest form, which means we are all set. For our next example, are we adding or subtracting these fractions?
Adding.
Subtracting. And what 3 letters do we do when we subtract?
KCO.
KCO. We keep our first fraction the same. We change this minus sign to a plus sign. What is the opposite of 3/8?
-3/8.
-3/8. Okay, so when we add these two values, we're adding with the same sign, which means we add and keep our sign. What is 5 plus 3? 8, and we got to keep our negative sign. And we keep the same denominator, which is 8. Can this be simplified?
Yes, to 1. 0.
And it's going to be 8 over 8 is 8 divided by 8, which is 1. And we have to keep our negative sign. So simplified, we get -1. I want to show you why adding fractions, you keep the same denominator. If we had, let's say we had, guess we'll just do 2 rectangles. So we have 5 sections filled in out of 8. If we added in 3 more sections, did we change anything with our denominator? No, that's why we keep it over the same denominator. So we filled in our rectangle, which means we're at 1. -1 for this example. Okay, this question is down at the bottom. It is on the on your own problems, but I wanted to go over one word problem with you. Yeah. Eduardo used fabric to make 3 costumes. He used 1/4 yard for the first, 2/4 yard for the second, and 3/4 yard for the third costume. How much fabric did he use altogether? So what do we have to do with these 3 values?
I'll add them all. 5 states. Alaska.
Okay, so we are adding those 3 fractions. We have 1/4 plus 2/4 plus 3/4. We have fractions with a like denominator. We always keep that denominator. Now we add our numerators. 1 plus 2 gives us 3. 3 plus 3 gives us 6. We have 6/4. Can this be simplified?
Yes, it has to be a mixed number.
We can change it to a mixed number. How many times, or what's our whole number here?
1.
1 times 4 is 4. How many do we have left over?
2 fourths.
2 fourths. Can this be simplified?
Yes.
2 fourths we can simplify to 1/2, so we get 1 and 1/2. Yeah, you could have done division, wrong division.
Fifth grade.
Okay, so I want you to go ahead and try these 3 on your own problems, and then try your last word problem.
I'm done.
I didn't get to do one of the word problems.
Okay.
Homework for tonight is page 287. The whole entire page, 1 through 9.